Hi everybody, Robin here at Toadstool Tarot, and I am having a bit of a moral dilemma over whether to share a video of this deck or not. Okay, this is the deal. I haven't bought any decks in quite a while. My tastes are kind of eclectic, and I just don't see a lot of artwork out there that appeals to me, particularly in mass market decks, although I pre-ordered one for November. But the rest I've been buying are either independent decks from smaller publishers, or self-published, or decks through MPC. Anyway, I found this deck on Etsy, and I know there's a lot of controversy going on lately about decks available through Etsy, and also big controversy over artificial intelligence decks. Well, this is part of my dilemma. I found this deck on Etsy. I read the description, and in the description it says this full Surreal Tarot deck is based on the classic RSW symbolism. The design of the deck features imageries painted with acrylic and pencils. Okay, and there's more there, but there's no mention of AI. However, this looks to me very possibly like an AI deck. And I don't want to get into a whole debate over it with anybody, and I don't want anybody gatekeeping me about my decisions. So you can leave that right out of the comments below and take it up in your own social media if you like. I think I'm leaving the decision up to you, whether you're for this particular deck or not. Often we're not given all the information to best decide how we feel about a deck, and sometimes it has more to do with the politics than it does the art itself. Now, I was particularly looking for a deck to treat myself for my birthday coming up end of first week in September. And I wanted something with a late summer, early fall kind of feel to it. And this has fall palette colors. And it also has really interesting images, I think, which we shall see in a minute, unless you decide to switch channels now and not have a look. It came in this generic flip top box. These are usually magnetic. There's no marking whatsoever anywhere on this box. In fact, it wasn't indicated on the Etsy page. And it doesn't feel like, if there is magnetism here, it's pretty mild. It may just be a fold over. I can't. It feels like there's a little bit of a cling, but usually you can see the magnets under the edge here, and I don't see them, so who knows. Anyway, it's kind of a nice touch because I do like these magnetic boxes. It also came with a card that has this sort of QR code thing for to scan for access-free tarot card cleansing guide, and it's a thank you card. There's no title or credit information here. It also came with a black canvas drawstring bag, which is a nice touch. And you had an option to pay a little more to add a selenite wand, but I had no interest in that. It was $44 and shipping, so the cardstock is, it's sort of like this new stock that everybody loves, but it's not as thick. I love that it's not a thick deck. And the cards are not flimsy. They're substantial, but they're not that thick cardstock. And it has a nice slick feel to it, but it's like that matte slickness. It's not glossy or even semi-gloss. It comes with a little white book that's only about 4 or 5 pages, and it's just a handful of keywords. Prepared by Shimitel.com. So I guess that's the creator. It's not real clear on the Etsy page. And even the title isn't clear. It's referred to in the description as Surreal Tarot Deck, Dali Tarot Deck, Colorful Tarot Cards, Divination Tool, Manifestation Cards, Full Tarot, Major Arcana, Minor Arcana. So who knows what this is called, but if they're selling it as a Dali deck, it's not Salvador Dali's art. I don't believe even if that were fed into AI that it would come out this way. But what it does have is it does have that sort of Barcelona, Madrid kind of color feel, like late afternoon in Spain, you know, towards end of summer, fall or something. These are the blacks. And I love the color palette in this deck. There is blue in it, but it's mostly warm colors. Lots of oranges, yellows, and reds. It's a very autumn deck as far as I'm concerned. So turn this over and give it a flip, and here we go. Like it or not, we have here the cards are all numbered in the corner and have a label at the bottom. And this does have a surreal feel to it and a sort of a nod to Salvador Dali, but this is definitely not his art. And if this is brush and colored pencil, I don't know. This other argument about AI, I don't like the idea that people may be using AI to avoid paying artists. On the other hand, you have artists that use the AI software as a tool to create their art. So, you know, there's an ongoing debate there, but I'm not going to debate it here. I'm just going to show you these cards and, you know, you decide on your own. But please do not leave me comments having to do with the controversy over AI. Just accept the deck as it is for its art and color, whether you like the artwork or not, whether it communicates to you or not. Here we have the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress. And I love that we have sort of very defined edge art and then mushy areas too, where the art is kind of blended or mixed the way you might with, you know, a brush on canvas, and we're blending colors in the background. The Emperor. The Hierophant. This looks sort of Dali-esque. The Lovers. The Chariot. It's very interesting construction for a chariot. Almost looks like a Dr. Seuss mobile. Strength. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. The Devil. I want to also say that if this is AI and there was an actual artist who had chosen this color palette and decided to paint in this particular manner, I definitely would have opted to buy from them rather than AI. I'm just putting that out there. It's, you know, you want me to buy from artists, then artists create what I want to see, please. And you all know my tastes are very eclectic and tend not to follow the mainstream. Here's the Tower. Some of these are more readily readable or intuitable than others. The Star, we do have a star there. The Moon. The Sun. I am just totally head over heels in love with this color palette. And it feels so perfect to me for this time of the year. There's always something exciting when summer ends and fall comes around, and we're so close. We're right on the cusp, and it's just, this is really appealing to me. Ace of Wands. Oh, also, this didn't come in order, so when you open it, if you do get it, you need to double check that all the cards are there and, you know, re-sequence it, because it's just, probably was just ordered the way the cards were cut off the printing sheet, and it wasn't arranged in proper sequence. Two of Wands. Three of Wands. I love how fluid this is. Four of Wands, intriguing. We've got bouquets of flowers and looks like a train. This looks like a wedding dress train, which works sort of for that Four of Wands in the RWS. Five of Wands. Six. I'm not sure if you didn't know the RWS, whether you could read right away with this. Of course, the labels are important. And I don't think that the booklet, let's just have a quick glance here. We've got introduction, composition of the tarot deck. What do we have? Six of Wands. Six of Wands. Key words: upright success, public recognition, progress. Reversed: fall from grace, selfishness, punishment, egotism. So you don't have very much there. And whether or not you see that in the card, I think this is going to be a deck where, because I'm familiar with the tarot, I will be relying heavily on the labels rather than the images. The images are sort of on the abstract side and do, you know, they will suggest some degree of intuition, but it's more of a flavor, I think it is, than something specific in the imagery. This Eight of Wands, we have a sort of fallen tree or something here. Looks like a stick. A usual angle of our Eight of Wands, either going up or coming down, but appears to be 1 rather than 8. Here, the Nine of Wands, we have almost looks like an injured soldier leaning on some crutches or something. 10 of Wands. Page of Wands. This is a little Dali-esque. And this is too. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. Can't tell if that's a bouquet of flowers or a pumpkin. I love that these figures are sort of dandy-like figures or statuesque. That's very much in keeping with Dali's aesthetic. And this looks like a portrait of Dali, King of Wands. Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. 3. 4. I love this. I actually wish there were more cards like under trees like this, because this tree depiction in foliage is just beautiful. I like the seat too, the chair. 5 of Cups. 6. This is almost too cute of the children for me, but it's all right, it works. 7. 8. I like this. Like walking away into the clouds, into the sun. 9 of Cups. 10. I don't know why, but this has such a Spanish feel to me. And I'm not that familiar with Spanish art or Spanish depictions or customs or whatever. Page of Cups. Knight. Queen. And King. Swords. Ace of Swords. 2 of Swords. 3 of Swords. That's typical. 4 of Swords. I like this. Looks like a bed almost here. 5 of Swords. Looks like a battle. 6 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Actually, this looks like it could be an 8 of Swords to me. 8 of Swords. Woman in a cage. This is the second deck I've got in recent days that has a woman depicted in a cage. 9 of Swords, the Nightmare card. Crying. The 10 of Swords. Page of Swords. Knight. Queen. There are a couple cards that look like Salvador Dali, but the females, the queens, the female cards don't really look like his wife Gala. King of Swords. Ace of Coins. This almost looks more like Miro or Clay or Kandinsky. Two of Coins. Get a little bit of that juggle feel. Three of Coins. Four of Coins. Five. Six. Seven. That's interesting. Seven of Coins. Looks like a Christmas tree. 8. 9. 10. And you know, I love that these are suggestive but not specific in the imagery. The fact that they're a little bit abstract leaves it open for me to sort of like daydream and meditate in the imagery, get lost in it a little bit as I'm daydreaming, and see if it sort of tickles my intuition. There we go. That looks like Salvador Dali a little bit. Knight of Coins, Queen, and King. So there we have, I don't even know, what's it called? Tarot. Schmittel, maybe the Schmittel Tarot. I don't know. I'll put a little bit of information in the box. I couldn't put a link because it's a really long link, but it's on Etsy. I suspect if you just look up on Etsy and put in the word Schmittel, SHIMILTEI.com. Oh, Shimilete. Okay, whatever. I love these backs. I love that color and that back design. See how they shuffled? Oh, really good. They glide really, really well for a matte deck. Because they do have a slick feel to them. They're not totally slippery. You can see them cling a little bit when I do this. But they have a nice weight to them, and they drop pretty well when you overhand them. Okay, again, I'm not shuffling enough or I would keep you here all day, but I'm going to try and lay out sort of a spread, and so you can see what they look like. Here I've got two stuck together in a spread. I like actually that these are borderless. And I like that there's a lot of consistency in the color scheme from card to card. They seem to all use pretty much the same colors. Don't they look pretty together? I guess I'm going through a period where I'm delving more into color, moving away from monochrome decks or pastels and more into almost psychedelic colors, just really bright, vivid palettes. So anyway, I'm glad you could share these with me, and hope to see you all again soon. I probably won't have another deck until, there's nothing else I know of coming except for the one I pre-ordered, due out in November from Los Scarabeo. And that is a version of Pamela Coleman Smith's art by the creator of the Jack-o'-lantern, the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot, and the Mystical Tarot. Can't think of his name right now, but his art is quite spectacular. Anyway, I'll see you all soon. Be well, be good, be blessed. Goodbye.